Recording.
Hey sellers, it's Rachel. I wanted to take time to record a video to go over the documents that you received from us so that we could get your listing on the market and just take a minute to explain them so that you're not confused. Obviously, you can always still reach out to us, but this may make it a little easier for you. So I'm actually going to show you them. One of the things we send you are called listing info sheets. And it's a packet that we created and we actually just printed out what we have to enter in the MLS. So this helps us get the most accurate information, which is going to make everybody's life easier. This first page here, it's pretty clear. It asks you some questions. It asks for some specific documents that you may or may not have, and that's okay. You'll just say, I don't have them. We give you this space here so that you can tell us everything that you know and love about the house. It helps us write the remarks. And we tell you, please take a minute to fill this out. Here's why we need it. And then we go through each section in the MLS and start asking you questions. And this is literally everything that's in the MLS that we either have to answer or put, not applicable. So go through here. If any of it doesn't make sense, feel free to let us know, but we talk about HOA dues, the association. We talk about the construction information if you happen to know who your builder and the floor plan, exterior construction information, exterior amenities. Exterior amenities are what's actually on your land. And then there are community features too. So if you have a neighborhood pool, that would go under community features. Also, your type of utilities. This is really important because a lot of that stuff is not public record. And so if you don't know, we got to figure it out. And most sellers do know, but don't ever guess on any of this. We do have ways of figuring this out. And we would rather the information be accurate than have to go back and, figure it out later, because that's happened too. So just make sure you answer these to the best of your ability. Anything that you don't know, just write, we don't know. And us as the listing agents, as licensed realtors, we'll figure it out. But it is easier if the seller knows. And there's a lot of things that you know about your house that it doesn't matter how many times I'm in there, I may not be able to see. So that's what you're going to do. Another page of it talks about what's considered a fixture of the home. And this is important because you'll want to let us know if there's anything that you want to take with you that would actually be considered a fixture. So for instance, curtain rods are fixtures. The actual curtains are not. Mounted televisions, the mount is a fixture, the television is not. Obviously, light fixtures in the homes are going to be considered fixtures of the home. So any of that you want to take with you, we just need to make sure that we put it in the listing as items that won't convey. Personal property is typically fridge, washer, dryer. The rest of the kitchen appliances are fixtures. So if you want to take your fridge or washer, dryer, we'll need to make sure that we advertise it correctly. Most of the time, my recommendation is going to be to leave fridge and washer dryer out of the listing so that we can use them as negotiation tools later on. And you'll hear that from me more if you haven't already. The last page here talks about how you want to handle showings. If you have any questions about this, the main thing we really need is what contact information you want in here. And then if there's any time restrictions. The market that we're currently in, most of the time I'm sending people out of town. I've probably told you that too, just because it's easier because it's usually dawn to dusk or 8 to midnight that people want to see houses. All right, now we're going to talk about disclosures. This first one is the mineral oil and gas rights disclosure. Here's the thing. You will know if you have sold your mineral oil and gas rights. So if you don't know, then you haven't. And so you'll answer no to the second and third questions and no to the fifth and sixth questions. If you have a disclosure from a previous seller that you remember, you can hit no or yes here, but most of the time people put no representation here for prior owners, and that's what I recommend professionally as well. This came about when North Carolina decided to allow fracking. So it's much more prevalent, and really even not that prevalent in North Carolina, but much more so towards the beach. I do know there's one neighborhood in Monroe where a prior owner sold them, and then they built this neighborhood. So everybody has to put yes, that the mineral and gas rights are, but I'm going off on a tangent. if you have not sold your mineral oil and gas rights, and you would know if you had, you're just going to hit no representation, no, no, no representation, no, no. All right. Property disclosure. This is very, very important. This is where you tell buyers everything that you know about the major systems of the house and about the HOA. And this is North Carolina. I'll have to do a separate one for South Carolina. But we need to know the year the house was constructed. If you don't know that, we can look it up for you really easy. If you've replaced the roof or the HVAC, any problems that you are aware of, this needs to be disclosed. That does not include things that were that in the past were a problem and you had them fixed and they are no longer a problem. You do not have to disclose that unless there is an ongoing issue. No representation option here. So there's a yes and a no. And the no representation is really if you haven't lived in the house and there's no way that you can really know the answers to these. If you are a seller that has occupied the house, you really should know the answers to all of these. So any of them that give you pause, just pick up the phone and call me, okay? All right, well, that's it. Hopefully that's helpful. Remember, there are initials and signatures on most of those pages. So make sure that you have signed and initialed and dated where needed. And we need all the sellers that are on there, the sellers of record to fill that out. So hope that helps. Thank you so much.